In this video, I'm going to share with you something that's a little bit controversial for accountants, and that's gut feel. I want to paint you a picture. You've got to the end of your budgeting process for the year. You've gone through all your employees and you said, we're going to do this amount of pay increase for these people, this amount of increase for these people, and these people who are going to stay the same on their wages. And you go through the process of sitting down with each person and you get to one of your key staff and you sit down with him or her and you tell them, hey, we're going to increase your wage from here to here. And they go, oh, well, that's okay. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more or for something else. So that might be a motor vehicle allowance, a telephone allowance. It might be a new sales vehicle, but they're asking for a little bit more, but the budget doesn't allow it. What do you do in that moment as a business leader when you're confronted with a very awkward proposition of somebody confronting you with this question that you weren't necessarily expecting? The first question is the 0 to 10 question. Is the person sitting opposite you somebody that if they said they were leaving tomorrow, you would find it hard not to smile when they're telling you? Through to a number 10 where you could still get out of bed in the morning, but it would leave a massive hole in your business, and even at a personal level, you would feel like, oh gosh, there's more things I need to take on board, or other people are going to have to pick up quite a significant amount of slack as a result of that person leaving. The second question to yourself is, what is the value that person brings to the business? There's a lot of roles that are quantifiable in terms of the value that they provide. Think of it in terms of a sales and marketing role. Think of somebody who works on the tools. There is a way that you can quantify what they produce for your business. For other roles in the business, it might be a little bit harder to quantify the dollars that they bring into the business. But as a starting point, look at what the quantity of performance they're bringing in. When you think about this and the value they bring, compare it to the value they're asking for. This is a real life example that I'm about to give you. Somebody who had a senior sales team member within their business didn't have a sales vehicle, and they were earning about $150,000, $160,000 a year. And that person came in and said, as part of my package, I also want to have a vehicle. And in their case, they wanted a Tesla. They worked out the value of that Tesla over the next 5 years and equated it to around about $20,000 to $25,000 of extra cost per year, which hadn't been budgeted for, hadn't been allowed for. But we decided to give that person their wishes because we knew the value that they were bringing to the business, and also asking ourselves the question of 0 to 10, how disappointed would we be in that person leaving, that wasn't something we had allowed for. But that leads to what the next point we're going to raise is being kind to yourself. I know that sounds really lame for an accountant to say, to be kind to yourself. But if you've got a highly valued employee, which is like an 8, 9, or 10 on that spectrum of 0 to 10, and the value they're gaining versus the value they're adding, you can live with, it's sometimes better to be kind to yourself and give that person what they want. Now, can we do that for every single person within your business, every single time, every single year? Probably not. But you've gotten to this place as a business owner and business leader for a reason. You probably have a really good gut feel. And that leads to the fourth element, which is goodwill. We need to be able to read the fact that this person is coming to us not in an opportunistic kind of way. They're saying, hey, look, I believe I'm adding this kind of value and this is something I would like to do. Personally, I've seen this a number of times, and maybe not necessarily as extreme as a Tesla, but in terms of extra wage demands, and when you look at what they're asking versus what we were going to provide, and the value difference between keeping them happy, keeping them there, and the value they're going to gain for the business, it's a price worth paying. So be kind to yourself. Trust your gut instincts that this person is doing it for the right reasons, and they're not going to come back knocking on your door in 6 months' time going, hey, I want a second Tesla, and I want you to pay for my kids' private education, and I want you to do this and this. That's clearly a very different level of engagement. But if you believe both parties are coming to the table with a degree of goodwill, and wanting to stay within that business, it can then lead you to make that decision, feel a lot more comfortable about it, and hey, do you know what? That budget can be adjusted. Put in that Tesla, put in that $5,000 extra. So long as the value being added, you can justify, not just at a financial level, but at a gut feeling level of what that can do for your business.